Oh my God, your poor dad.
Welcome back to Your Poor Dad. You can't choose your sisters, but you can choose your podcast. So thank you for joining us and being the fourth Brant sister.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
This is a very important episode. You guys want to know why?
I know why.
Because we are officially in the triple digits. This is our 100th episode.
Oh my God, we're centenarians.
Okay. Sure.
Yes.
Yes, we're centenarians. What does that even mean?
100 years old.
100 years old peoples.
We're so old.
We're
That's what that
so
means.
old. Well, I mean, it's been like a very good run. I think we really hit our stride when we started talking about getting cheated on.
Yeah.
I think like that's like the girlies, like we needed to like show the girlies that we're just like them.
That like everyone gets cheated on.
Yeah, and it's all on the iPad. I think that's what we should talk about today in honor of like our, our
what?
peak.
Yeah. The iPad, the phone, just it's all in
We
the
need
phone.
to talk about the phone again because I think it's been so many episodes. Like we have new listeners.
We can talk about the iPad. I've had things happen on Snapchat, on Instagram. Ooh. My favorite thing that Instagram used to have
What?
was like the feed
where
it was
showed
like
you
so-and-so started following so-and-so. The day that they removed that, my life, a little part of me died because I would stalk that feed, not only for the people that I knew, aka my boyfriend, like to see what he was doing.
The people.
But
I was
also
interested in so many other people's
'cause
internet habits.
I also would look at my friends and be like, oh, what celebrities are they following? What groups are, but mainly my boyfriend.
Right.
And the day that they removed that, a little part of me died. And that's how you know that Instagram is run by a man.
100%. That is
Sucks.
literally how you know Instagram is run by a man.
Because that,
if there was a woman, they'd be like, what's there to hide?
I still have a screenshot on my phone that I took of when I was dating Tyson, where he followed a girl I think it was at 8:00 in the morning, and he had started following her at like 7:53. It's like 8:00. I screenshot and I'm like, why did you start following her? And that night he cheated on me with her. And so you know what? Sometimes you're crazy and sometimes it's valid.
Sometimes you're right.
Sometimes you're right. And I was so right. And I'll tell that story later on because it's a good one.
Okay. Well, let's get into, we're going to do a little catch-up sesh. Then we're going to get into, revisiting some of our favorite stories, which is men being trash.
Yeah. And you know what? I know everyone's going to talk about how I'm the only one not wearing pink. And it's because I wasn't invited.
Oh.
Well, it's also not Wednesday, so you didn't get the memo.
Yeah. Actually is Wednesday. Oh, wait. No, it's Thursday. Just a little breaking the fourth wall there.
Oh my gosh. Just like Lala.
Wait, so this week, nothing's really like happened this week because it was a work week. The last time we recorded was on a Sunday. I really love not having to do the quick turnaround. It's like so stressful. Sunday, like Monday morning.
Yeah, but I do have to say I appreciate you scheduling that.
You're welcome.
And I'm saying it.
You know what's funny?
Because
because we got into a huge fight.
We got into a huge fight.
Like we can't just be like normal.
No, I was like setting a hard boundary.
My favorite part about that fight was in that episode, you guys made me sound like I was so unreasonable about how I wanted to go forward with the podcast. Mm-hmm. And in our talks, I was so just angry. And then Paige said, I'm not going to do this anymore. And I was like, see, I'm not the only angry one.
I said, I'm not going to do this anymore unless we schedule out our posts.
Yes. And heard, understood, acknowledged.
Heard, understood,
acknowledged.
And here's me acknowledging you, acknowledging me.
Right.
I appreciate you.
Exactly.
Here's looking at you, kid.
Well, so Mr. Roberts was like, he was kind of on your side.
I knew he would
because he's so type A. But I'm like, when I feel like it should be released early, like it's something that people are anticipating, we should do it early.
But like, just because you have a feeling doesn't mean it's the feeling.
Okay, so you guys weigh in the comments.
But you know what? I will say, I was looking at some of the reviews, and a lot of you love you so much, and a lot of them were saying that they do miss the FaceTime episodes that were a little more like quick turnaround, sporadic, but they really like these as well.
Okay.
And then like some of you who were a little more got me a little heated. They were a little more judgmental. They were like, where have you been? Don't ever leave again. Like, how could you leave for over a month? That's not a good look. I was like,
I love that. I'm like, they like us.
Paige
is like, Paige takes it offensively, and I'm like, they like us.
I took it offensively.
I think it's because I'm more online. So, like, I just see so many comments.
Well, because
like,
almost all of the other reviews were like, oh my gosh, guys, where have you been? I love you
Jade
so
needs
much.
therapy.
Okay.
She's a little unbearable. Please don't let Jade read the stories anymore.
They're like, tell Jade to stop talking. No, I always tell people, like, when I go on other people's podcasts, I'm like, if you don't like me, great. I have the perfect podcast for you to listen to, Your Poor Dad.
If you want to fight me, fight me.
But it's like, it's so true. Like, if you don't like me, then listen to Your Poor Dad, because you will see in real time people like putting me in my place, aka
but
my sisters.
also other people trying to put you in their place, then I get pissed.
I know.
It's a weird thing.
Dichotomy, yeah.
Anyway,
so this week not much has gone on.
we do have something to say. So
what?
Because it's been a work week, we've really been we've just been watching Summer House. Like,
okay.
So we're fully through season 1. Well, so we've already caught up on season 8.
When she says we, she means her and the mouse in her pocket, because I watched every 8th episode with her probably.
Well, so now we've seen all of season 1. We're on season 2. Do you want to know? Bailey, you can say it. And you can say his name, because when Bailey said this, who is Kyle in season 1 and 2? Who does he look like?
Are you talking about your ex-boyfriend?
Which one?
I can say his name?
Yeah.
Matt?
Really?
Almost.
A little bit. I thought you were gonna say Mark.
No. When Bailey
kind of looks like Mark.
When Bailey said that, I was like, "Oh my god!"
It really clicked.
Really definitely not his actions, but which is so weird, because I first met Kyle with his long mullet.
Yeah.
And so seeing him
like a young little
season
lad.
1, which I had seen the first episode because Vanderpump did that weird thing where it was like, the episode's not over. They just started the first episode of Summer House.
I love when they do that.
But I didn't care about Summer House at the time, so I didn't know who Kyle was. So when I rewatched it, I was like, oh, that's that douchebag that was like, forgot Stassi's name and like whatever. And Bailey was like, that looks like Bat. And I was like, Bat. Did I say Bat?
I thought you were doing a curse name now.
Bat.
That looks like Bat.
Okay, Bat is honestly like a friend of the Brandt sisters. Like, no love lost.
No, literally no love lost at all. And he's very cute. And Kyle is cute, but Kyle looks like a completely different person from season 1 to season 8.
Yeah. It was confusing because with his mullet, he looked really short. And then with his not mullet, I thought he looked taller. I think because
Bat's tall.
Yeah. Bat's very tall.
Wait, speaking of ex-boyfriends, just pause real quick. So when I was with my college friends, we were all talking about like all of our weddings, because we all been to each other's weddings, and they were like, you know what, we didn't agree with like what you were doing, but a fabulous wedding, like such a good wedding. And I was like, yes, of course. But they were like, where is Bailey's ex-boyfriend? He was like the star of my wedding, and all of them were like, oh man. They were like, do you think there's any chance they'll get back together? I was like, no, I don't think so. I think he has like a girlfriend, he's happy, whatever. And they were like, damn it. Like, everyone was just like writing so hard for your ex.
That's nice. And also, it's not like I hang out with your friends either. I guess they just know that he's a good person.
I just think they liked him.
Yeah.
Well,
it's not like a loss for them either way, but they were just like, damn.
He leaves a lasting impression.
Yeah.
Great guy. Wishing him well.
I always wish him well. And he was such a fun asset to that wedding.
Yeah.
That no one could have expected. I don't know why, but like, I did not expect him to be the star.
Yeah.
Well, like, you know, maybe a shooting star. You guys were the stars, but like, he was like a shooting star passing by. But then he had too much fun. He lost his phone.
I know.
And I had to find him in the airport from a different flight.
Well, because I missed my flight because I rode back to the airport with him, and Paige and I were on the same flight, but she rode with our family members. My ex and I were not on the same flight, but together taking shots of tequila at the hotel.
With my friends.
Yes. And I had the checked bag. It was a whole thing. So I couldn't get on the flight. And Paige was already on the flight. Couldn't tell my ex because he didn't have a phone. I was like, can't you page him? Don't they do that in airports? And they're like, no, call him. It's like, well, I guess Paige is going to have to go stand there with a sign and be like, excuse me, Bailey, missed your flight. I had to go sleep at your friend's house.
That was so funny.
That was
Good
wild.
times. But anyways, so season 1, there's the Workus twins. What do you think? Because Carl, Lindsay, and Kyle are still the
Lindsay
main
has
one.
been unbearable since season 1.
Yeah.
Kyle's just.
Oh, 'cause she was
Carl.
Everett.
Yes.
And Everett's fake. Everett
has disengaged. Like, I'm going to have to do something about this.
Yeah, Everett talks very strange. And Everett is like, but Everett's not so far off from Carl.
totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Same guy, different font.
Carl is the worst.
Carl's font is Comic Sans. Everett's font is Times New Roman.
Yeah, totally. But I did not like Carl as a person as a person that I would expect anyone to marry.
Yeah.
Season 1. However, as a character, I'm like, wow, he is all the drama. He's making me wonder how Lauren is going to feel,
Yeah.
whatever. Lauren and Ashley, by the way, their little dynamic of being twins, but Ashley's about to move away. Like, that was really sweet. That was really,
I
really
liked
sweet.
the Workus twins.
I really liked them a lot. I could not stop cracking up about how the entire season, I think her name's Christine. She was the reporter.
Oh my God, she was loser
Christina.
vibes. Like the biggest loser vibes.
Jade. The thing is, she was a very annoying person. However, she wasn't really wrong.
With Lindsay.
So it seemed like everyone was gaslighting her and me, because she would say something like, she was talking to Carl, like, Carl, it's fucked up that you're bringing all these other girls home when you already hooked up with Lauren because it's hurting her feelings. And Lauren's like, wow, Christina, how fucking dare you say that to Carl? Like, you're the reason Carl and I aren't together, blah, blah, blah. And Christina's like, but did I lie? And everyone's like, wow, I can't believe that you don't see how fucked up you are. And it's like, wait, but she wasn't wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the entire season, anytime she piped up a little bit, somebody was there to turn around and be like, shut the fuck up, Christina, shut the fuck up. And I was like, they hate this girl
But
so
sometimes
much.
it's like not what you're saying. It's just who you are.
But like,
you
then
know?
why did
Yeah.
they invite her?
I don't know. But I think, are we yelling into the mics?
No.
I think we kind of are.
No, we're fine.
Okay.
I think it's the volume on our headphones.
Okay.
I really do think that.
Listeners, tell us, are we yelling into the microphones?
But also, it's really just the last thing I'll say about the Summer House recap is it's really hard for me to see how we get the whole season 1. Kyle was a fuckboy, and it ends with him being like, oh, I finally decided I want to be with Amanda.
Yeah.
And then he tells her, hey, I want to be with you, but guess what? I made out with all these girls. And she's crying. And then season 2, it's him bringing her to Summer House. And I'm just saying, I am having a hard time seeing how they get married.
No, I mean, you will be on this journey the entire time, because to me, the Summer House is like Vanderpump Rules with like real jobs. They're still like so like mean to each other. Like the way Kyle and Amanda, their relationship, it honestly reminds me of me and Mark, which is not good for them. Like they bicker all the time. They fight in front of everyone. They get their friends involved in the fight. They have like not the best chemistry, but like I think they just are so ingrained in each other's lives because they've been together for so long that like they have the same friends. They're obviously in business together, but they don't want the same things out of life. And it's not going to end well. Like they're not going to have kids together. They're going to probably break up. And I hate to say that because I really like Amanda.
I really like Amanda too.
But
they're going to be the Katie and Schwartz, where it's like,
Yeah.
we really like Katie, and Schwartz is kind of a dumbass, but he's here.
yeah. Yeah. And like Tom Schwartz is a more likable version of Kyle. But I do like Kyle too. I just think that they're not good together.
Yeah.
And that kind of leads us into Vanderpump.
I know.
Part
Should we
2.
talk about Vanderpump?
I think we should.
Let's get into it. Okay, so the reunion, you might have to refresh my memory because I watched it
2 days ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we watched it yesterday.
But I'm also 3 years older than you. So my brain is 3 years, aged.
Yeah. Well, let me pull out my handy dandy notes here. Mainly,
well, what I want to say first is that you on social media said for like the Summer House people, you said that their wardrobe people should get with Vanderpump.
Yes.
But Katie looks so good.
No, Katie looks the best she's ever looked.
Katie
she
looks really good.
Phenomenal.
Gorgeous. I love that dress on her.
Her makeup, her hair, she looks so good.
Oh my God, I'm obsessed with that
let's rank
haircut
them.
on her.
Let's rank the girls.
Okay, obviously Katie looks the best.
Yes.
I think
Who's two?
next I would do Ariana.
Don't say anything.
Oh.
I would do Ariana. And then
We already ranked them.
I would do Sheena's look is so boring. She looks the same every single time. But she looked gorgeous. I think Sheena's stunning. And then I really hated Lala's hair. Her hair, I didn't like her ombre thing. I thought the curls, it wasn't like a wave, it wasn't a curl. It just didn't look very good on her. And I think Lala's so gorgeous. I like that color on her though. Allie's dress looked like it was giving like Lulu's. So I'm going to give that. She's number whatever. And then last in the basement of hell is Joe. Joe looked, they did her dirty with that dress. They should not have let her on TV with that dress. It looks so cheap and ugly in the pattern. It just but they have to get it approved by production.
Well, production's probably like, honey, if that's what you feel comfortable in.
But it didn't look good on TV. It didn't look good on her. Her makeup she didn't have like TV quality makeup. Her hair was like not giving, like,
no, not at all. And the thing is, I think that was, well, I told you this earlier. I think that there's a chance that she was maybe trying to be a little extra basic to be a little more victim.
I think she was trying to turn it up. I think that's her turning it up.
Well,
because I think if she was trying to be basic, she would have looked like she did in San Francisco.
she pulled her hair back in a ponytail like I did in 4th grade.
No, but she had like extensions and they were like crimped and it was like a whole look. I think she was really trying. Because imagine like you're there to see your ex-boyfriend. Like you want to look hot. No one wants to look like frumpy and sad. I
don't think she looked frumpy. I just don't think she looked good.
No,
because
I don't think it was by design.
No, but the thing is about Joe is she has all of the like basics already there.
Like she's pretty.
She's pretty. Like it could have been so much better with very little effort. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what's weird. But I think that Katie was my favorite, then Lala.
Oh,
Lala
okay.
was my second. I'm torn between, honestly, I might throw Allie in there first because
What?
She's pointing at me because I do understand, because I think Allie looked great, but for the kind of show it is, I understand that it's a level of glam that you're expecting.
Yeah.
But if you go for it and miss, it's a bigger bummer than just being like looking really good.
Yeah.
And it might not
Allie
be as like
looked
exceptional.
really good. Like her face, her hair, like she looked really good. The thing is, I hate Ariana's dress more than anything. I hate Ariana's dress.
It grew on me. I liked it better this second
I honestly
episode.
think that Ariana's dress is actually like a look though.
I don't.
These people have been on TV for like 12 years.
I know. I think it would look good on anybody.
But like the Summer House cast, their looks look like people who have been on TV, who hired stylists. They look very styled.
They probably did.
I know, but I think Vanderpump Rules hires stylists. They all have stylists. They can't go into these TV things. Katie talks about her stylist. It does not look like they have stylists.
But I wonder if it's a requirement or just like if Katie wants If Katie looks back at seasons and she's like, you know what, I want to hire
It's not a requirement, but Bravo also gives them stylists, and they can either choose to use that stylist or use their own.
Yeah.
And you can tell the ones who have like a sense of style, because like I bet Sheena just uses their stylist. Like she looks like all the housewives.
Sheena looked like she was going to my 2010 prom.
Yeah.
You know? Like she did not look ugly by any means, but it was just like, okay.
Sheena's gorgeous.
Sheena is gorgeous.
Sheena looks better than she's ever looked
I was
facially.
disappointed by the dress.
Let's get into how they're, because like, you know, this is a podcast, so they can't see.
Right.
So, okay, what's...
Joe was embarrassing.
Joe, her making like those jokes where what did Andy ask her if they were, she said, so you and Tom hooked up or whatever, and she goes, no, we didn't. I mean, whatever.
Literally, that's exactly how she sounded.
She literally is like an awkward Muppet. Like she's so awkward in front of these people.
Well, and it was like, it was really awkward the whole time whenever they were trying to explain to Schwartz how he led her on.
Yeah.
And how she thought it was something different than he thought it was. And he would say like, oh, well, you know, I think we knew where it was. And every other girl had chimed in at some point being like, no, look, she just said right now that she thought this. And then it would like pan to Joe and she's like, oh. She's like, oh. And I'm like, the thing is, the reason Joe is, I am never going to get on Joe's side is because she keeps trying to make this thing with Katie happen.
Yeah.
And it's never going to happen.
Like she tries to make Katie, like make the fight with Katie happen.
Yeah, make Katie look like the bad guy for Katie. Oh, everyone included me except for Katie. Like, okay.
Yeah. And the way she handled that, I was like, if you are going to come on this show and criticize Katie, then you need to say it with your chest. Like, stop being so wishy-washy about it. Like come with points, say exactly what she did to you, and stand by it. But she was so wishy-washy with it.
I was starting to feel bad for her until I don't remember what they were talking about, but Katie said, this just was truly not about you. And Joe goes, it never is.
Yeah, she said that's what
it is. Of course it wasn't.
I feel bad for Joe because she doesn't get it. Like, I think Joe is genuinely not smart enough to like hang with this crew, which is like the biggest diss I could ever give anyone.
Yeah,
because I don't think they're that smart.
No, that is no.
Well, it's a different kind of smart.
Yeah, she can't.
I wouldn't be smart enough to hang with them.
Oh, I could.
I know.
It's just the fact that you don't understand. Yes, they were only married for a couple years, but they were together for like 12 years or something. They were together for so long. So that marriage breaking up, that relationship ending, if I'm Katie, fuck you, Joe.
No,
like
literally fuck you,
fuck
Joe.
you. And you know what? I'm going to be like, fuck you, Joe, every time I see you walk in this fucking room for the next 5 years. You know what I mean? And it's like, and I have that right. I was with him for 12 fucking years. When he cheated on me with every single fucking person, we still got married.
And you know what irritates the fuck out of me is when Tom Sandoval and has to chime in and say, like, basically get over it. And it's like, she doesn't have to get over it. That she was married to that person. She doesn't want to have to be with him anymore. But to have somebody who was like best friends with your friend, Kristen Doty, then to have that person go sleep at your ex-husband's house, couch surf,
that's
quote unquote.
The weirdest.
It's weird. It seems like like Lala was saying, she's like, it seems like you were trying to move in on him.
Because why choose him and not Kristen?
Yeah, and then what happens when you force something to happen that's not organically happening on its own? You end up in a situationship.
Yep.
Which we should talk about.
Yep.
Because who hasn't forced something that... A situationship is when you force something that is not genuinely moving forward on its own. But you have chemistry. Like Schwartz and Joe clearly have chemistry. Joseph, T-Money, T-Dog, or whatever she calls him. They like have chemistry, but they're like, she's forcing it along.
Yeah. And just accepting any little breadcrumbs.
But he's a piece of shit too, because he let her do it. And then they were in a relationship. Sorry, like, even though you don't want it to be a relationship, like, what else is it? You're not just friends.
No, but then it was weird when he was talking about his real girlfriend that he has now, and then he said, well, I'm not going to say anything more out of respect for Joe, not out of respect for Katie. Which, if you're going to say you weren't in a relationship, but out of respect for Joe, you're not going to say anything about this new girlfriend you have.
Yeah.
But fuck you, Katie. It's so weird.
Yeah. They're so mean to Katie, like the cast. I hate it.
No, but the thing is, Schwartz was an asshole and a dick to Joe. That's not the question here. If Joe would have just let everything play out and just wasn't fucking weird as shit
At the reunion?
Literally the whole time.
Oh, okay.
Like, if she just wasn't going on those lives, like doing all this like extra shit, going up at the last episode, like trying to confront Katie, like things would have turned out so differently for her.
Yeah.
Because it just would have been like, wow, God, that sucks for, she's an innocent bystander who just like got hit by, Schwartz is immature again. You know what I mean? Like, it would have been such a different thing. At this point, it's like, we know how he is, and you're fucking weird as shit.
She's so weird.
And I can't handle it.
And she's also a huge Green Bay Packers fan. She loves Aaron Rodgers. That's why when she was like, do you have Aaron Rodgers' number? I thought the John Mayer comment was funny.
No, honestly, that just like proves her calling out Aaron Rodgers and John Mayer. It's like, that just truly shows the type of person you are. Like maybe the John Mayer, just because him and Andy are such good friends, but like the Aaron Rodgers, like, loser.
Yeah.
Loser.
Oh my God. Aaron Rodgers is literally a loser. And they said that on the reunion. I'm watching her reel right now.
The other main standout to me was Lala. I thought it was so weird when she was trying to call out Ariana for not sticking up for her when Charlie was, Charlie was on the season. When Charlie was talking shit and Ariana was like, but we talked about that. We came to an understanding, like, I apologize. And she said, yeah, but it didn't air.
Yeah.
That blew my fucking mind. I was like, what the fuck are you saying?
Yeah. I feel like Lala's just been her scruples are not scrupled this season. She keeps moving her boundaries around and moving her reasoning around of like feeling a certain way. Like when she was talking about the boundary thing, like, oh, Ariana, basically she was saying Ariana isn't allowed to have boundaries because she is living under the same roof with Tom Sandoval. But I think like and she keeps saying, well, the difference between me and Randall and Tom and Ariana is that we had a kid, so I could put those boundaries down. But I don't think that's fair to Ariana. Well,
and someone even said like, oh, but also you didn't own your house with Randall, right? So you had to like run out of the house.
And there is something, I don't know what it is, but I think if you vacate the house, there is something there that like, I don't think it was smart for Ariana to vacate the house.
I agree.
And also like, he should have vacated the house. I think like they were being like, and also it's like kind of none of your business of whether she stays there or not.
Well, I think that she's just nervous because nothing about this season was, sorry, that's not true. One thing about this season was about her, and it was when her getting a donor so she can have a baby to put on the show is what she said, which I thought was also fucking wild.
Wait, she said that?
Yeah, she was like, well, I'm not allowed to put like the first baby on the show because of the like custody battle, but like I'll be able to put this one. Like that was like
weird.
during the season. And I'm like, that's a fucking weird ass thing to say.
That's so weird.
But it's like her only storyline this season was her like donor journey, all that kind of stuff, which like I think that's cool.
Yeah.
However, at this reunion, I'm like, you're grasping at straws because whether it's because of like legal reasons or not, you can't and don't talk about your personal life. And so you're trying to force everyone to talk about every single freaking aspect of their personal life. Yeah, because she wants the
show to stay around, and she wants it to keep
going. And it's like, okay,
stop self-producing.
And like, what the fuck are you adding to the show besides now you're kind of making it weird. Like,
Yeah.
she's always been so real and so like, damn, Lala's like saying what we're all thinking. And right now I'm like, she's scared.
Well, she's also kind of not always been so real. And when her first few seasons, she like wasn't
Real, but like
saying-
dramatic.
Yeah.
The drama we want.
Yeah. And I don't know. And also Sheena, like, I don't know if this was on the reunion because I also watched the after show and they kind of like blur together for me. But Sheena went up to Tom Sandoval's penthouse with a bunch of people during BravoCon. Did they talk about that? Mm-mm. So this is what happened. Sheena went up to a party at Tom Sandoval's room while they were at BravoCon, and it kind of got leaked on the internet that night. So everyone was like, oh my God, Sheena again being a backstabber. And when she was on a panel and asked about it, Sheena was like, it was a party. I don't say no to an after party, whatever. And then when Ariana was asked about it on another panel, Ariana was like, yeah, it's weird. So in the after show, Sheena was saying how she was really upset that Ariana didn't shut the rumors down, because she's like, she said, I was there defending Ariana, telling him to stop talking about her on the carpets and blah, blah, blah. And Ariana in the after show was like, I didn't ask her to do that. Like, it's basically like Sheena keeps putting herself in a shitty position and then being like, yeah, but I'm doing it for Ariana. And it's like, you just need to do less.
Well, because Sheena always tries to make it about her.
Right. And she doesn't understand how her doing that is making it about her, because she's inserting herself into it. Like, let it die down.
She does understand that she's inserting herself. That's the only thing she knows how to do. It's the
Yeah.
only way she knows how to relate to other people is how it's affecting her.
Yeah. 100%.
When she said that she made out with Tom Schwartz and then was saying, I was going to let this like be a secret for forever. I was never going to talk about it. It's like, you are so excited to be talking about this right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she was pumped. Also, did you see that it was her sister, her cousin, went to Glendora?
Her sister went to Glendora.
Because I was like, whenever they showed the cheer outfit,
know.
I was like, Glendora.
Well, there's two big Glendora people from Bravo, Tamra
And Jade.
and Jade,
And Jade.
and Sheena's sister,
And Austin.
and Austin Victoria, yes.
yeah.
And actually Brittany
Wait,
Xavier.
is that Bravo?
No.
No, it's Netflix, but it is. Well, we also need to talk about Selling OC this. But did you know Brittany Xavier? She was a Glendora. We cheered together. She's like a huge influencer now, like a high end influencer.
I'd have to see her face.
Yeah, she's cool. But okay, are we good on Vanderpump? Is there anything else?
I think so.
We're good.
Ready for part 3?
Okay, so did you guys watch Selling OC?
Yes.
Okay. This was such a good season. I think this is their best season yet, but I have been a troll in the comments because obviously my best friend is Lisa. She's married to Austin and they are on Selling OC. I also call Austin AJ just in case I like accidentally slip up, but because that's just like what everyone calls him.
Yes.
But okay, so what did you guys think of watching it? Knowing, because you knew what was going to happen.
Well, do you want to say like the plot point?
Okay, so the plot point is this season there's this little rat, Sean, and he is just
Isn't every Sean a rat?
literally, yes.
I think
All the ones I've known.
And
Same.
so Sean is like dying to be on the show, but he's like not good on camera and he's not interesting enough. So
And he's not good at real estate.
and he's also not good at real
But
estate.
apparently he's great at marketing.
He's really good at marketing. He's let us know that, which is like literally marketing is like, as someone who is in marketing, it's like the most generic thing. It's like, what do you do? Marketing?
Like, we both do marketing, very different things.
Oh yeah, like you're the marketing emoji girl with like the graphs and the numbers, and I'm the marketing girl that's like the nails and the
Yes.
the bows, whatever. So Sean, he starts this rumor that Lisa and Austin, they invited him over to their house and they made weed cookies and they hit on him. And
And he also said that at one of the parties, Lisa went up to him and she was touching him and she
Touching
said, "You're my
his leg."
favorite."
which is like,
Not Lisa.
as I've been best friends with Lisa since we were like 14 years old, that is so not Lisa's character, and it's so not Austin's character, and it's just like the most like fabricated lie. And it started going around, and so finally it came to a head, and Austin was like, also they have 2 twin girls, they just had a 3rd baby, but the girls were upstairs, and like they are such good parents, and they are both so protective of their children, as they should be. And I think that's where it crossed the line, like once it was like
100%,
you bring the family into it. And so Austin was rightfully so fucking pissed.
I have to say, I loved watching this interaction.
Oh my God, me too. I was like, hit him.
Literally. I'm like, do it.
I'm glad he didn't hit him, because he would have gotten in trouble with HR.
Totally. But like, also it's like the way he was just like even intimidating. He was like doing like he's like,
I know.
What's it called when you like bow your chest or whatever?
Yeah.
And he's like pressing up against him. He's like, say it. Tell me. I want you to say what you've been saying. I want you to do it.
And this is Sean being such a, like, what is your story, Sean? It makes no sense. So he is on camera talking about this rumor. Then Austin confronts him and he's like, okay, if you want to say it to me. And he's of course like, what
do you want me to say?
I don't know what you want me to say. And then finally he's like, okay, you want me to go there, Austin, with his little like finger? And he's like, you and your wife hit on me, blah blah. He starts going into the rumor, and Austin's like, are you fucking kidding me? And then he starts saying, he's like, you're into weird shit and stuff. And it's so funny because like Lisa and AJ are literally like the most normal couple ever. Like they're just like not weird, and like they're both so gorgeous. And I think maybe that's where Sean thought he could like,
I think that's where it comes from, because they're so gorgeous, and you could just see like, oh well, people that look like that
can't be normal.
There is something different about them.
Yeah, but like I'm here to tell you, they're both so normal.
I'm pretty sure AJ said something along the lines of like, you wish I wanted to fuck you, or
I know.
something. Like,
well, and it's funny because like Sean was saying on his, because he's like, you comment on my Instagram, nice legs. He's like, we were working out together and you have huge legs.
And it was like probably leg day. Like,
yeah.
Like that is a normal ass compliment and comment.
All this being said, I said to you, I was a little nervous because it looked like Austin was lying. It looked like Sean compiled. He waited until he would selectively show some screenshots. He would do these weird shit that he knew. He's very manipulative. That like me knowing Lisa and Austin, I was like, this is, I was getting so nervous that it wasn't going to be clear.
I think it was clear at the end because then he showed some
after like 5 episodes.
Well, they had to keep the drama going because Sean wasn't really on the season after that.
Well, and the thing is Sean, it just goes to show that like the type of person that Sean is, like he was like that. It was probably his feelings were hurt because he was thinking he could be friends with like the new guy in the office, and then
but he was weird to him. That's why they stopped being friends. And he did the same thing to Tyler.
Well, exactly.
It's and then they showed this like, then he did the same thing with Tyler where he showed the tiny little snippet of a text. Mm-hmm. But really like when you expanded on the text, then you saw the real story. And that's when everyone turned on Sean. But then Sean went on this interview, and I didn't watch the whole thing because it was bullshit when he started out. He was like, I didn't say anything. Polly was the one who started that rumor. But it's like, that is not what happened. You said the rumor. And also, I think it's hilarious, like weed cookies, like truly grow up who makes weed cookies.
All Lisa makes is sourdough now.
No, Lisa's only making sourdough.
And her sourdough is like the most elaborate designs.
Yeah, like they're just like normal. She's a trad wife.
She's a trad wife.
Yeah, she's like a hot trad wife. And he wishes, like he honestly wishes. It got me so mad. And then I'm, of course, like in the comments, like literally trolling Sean. I'm like, Sean's a rat, Ratatouille. He's like, just call me Ratatouille. And so I sent that text to Lisa, and she's like, that's interesting because Ratatouille is about a scam artist chef that makes, you know, what I don't even remember what she said, but it was really funny. And I was like, fuck, I wish I could write that.
That's funny. Yeah, no, it was a good, the season was too short.
I know it was too short, and I just like wanted more. I'm glad Austin did not hit them because he would have gotten in trouble, and he did get in trouble with.
Well, that was.
I understand.
rightfully because it was on, you know, company time, property, all that kind of stuff. But if it was at like a after hours happy hour, a little like.
But also that made me respect Austin more because he wasn't making excuses. He said, that was my part in this. I would have been so defensive, like, this guy's a liar, he's telling lies about my family, he's saying all this stuff, like, you would be on my side, like, let me go. And he was just like, that was my part and I accept responsibility.
Yeah He's like, yeah,
stand up guy.
Stand up. Okay, we need to like keep it moving, so we need to talk about the what
she's right.
We've been moving.
Okay, so we said we were going to talk about phone stuff, and like mainly, you know, every man's worst nightmare, a woman getting a hold of her phone or her iPad or the watch or the computer,
literally anything connected to Wi-Fi,
or just like looking in your eyes and knowing, you know.
Yeah, the thing that so this whole conversation started because we were talking about Kate Hudson's interview on Call Her Daddy, and she said something that I've never felt more connected to, where she was talking about how like, oh yeah, and sometimes you look at someone's phone and you don't want to admit that you looked at their phone, so you come up with like the perfect lie that is so perfect that they don't know that you're lying, but they come clean to the lie because like it was so, and I think that's my talent.
I think that is totally your talent.
Like, that is my gift of all gifts, just to make it believable enough that, like, I didn't look through your phone to do this.
So what did you do? Tell us the story.
Oh, well, this is different than that. But the story that I want to talk about is because we started off with the whole Instagram thing.
Yeah.
And so me and Tyson worked at the same company for a little bit, and then I left the company. Right when I left the company, they're having this family day, and everyone's family significant others usually come to this, and he's like, oh, you know, you just started at this new job, like you probably shouldn't take a PTO for that. And I was like, wait, I was so planning on it, but okay, if you think that's the best thing, whatever. So 8:00 in the morning, I'm looking at that newsfeed thing, and I see that he started following on Instagram this girl that works at the company, my old company, and that girl was like a little bit of a talk of a problem in the past. And so I was like, well, what is this about? And he's like, oh my gosh, you're so fucking crazy, I can't believe you saw that, you're stalking me. And I was like, yeah, I am. And I was like, unfollow her. And he was like, I just followed her, I cannot unfollow her, like that's more psycho. And I was like, well, you shouldn't have done it in the first place.
Wait, what's more psycho? Like you not unfollowing her, or you like pissing off your girlfriend?
Yeah, well, yes. And it gets worse. So somehow he talks me off the ledge. He's like, basically the excuse is I had to like, I'm keeping up appearances or something because she's like kind of in the group. And I'm like, no, she's not. I know the group. Like, I know the group. But the group has changed, whatever. Anyways. And I was like, well, she better not be in the group today when I'm not at this family day.
Yeah.
Okay. Plot was she was. And so all of my friends, well, my friends and like their wives, my friends still work there and I know their wives, whatever. And so it's the end of family day and I'm like, great, what are we doing for dinner? He's like, well, me and the guys are going to go to dinner. And I'm like, cool, I'll text the girls and see if they want to do dinner. And he's like, do not text the girls. So-and-so's mom's in town and like you're gonna stress her out if you even bring dinner as an option. And I'm like, oh my god, why would that stress them out? And he's like, seriously, do not get involved, like this is do not. And I was like, wow, okay, like I really missed a huge thing, whatever, I'll hear about it. Okay, no, plot twist, the whole fucking time they were all at dinner. Okay, the girls were at dinner too. So my girlfriends, when they're at dinner, they're like, hey, where's Paige? Oh, she didn't want to come out. So he was just banking on the fact that I was not going to text them. And that his story about don't you make things uncomfortable. Like, and it fucking worked, okay? If I would have texted them and be like, hey, the boys are getting dinner, we should get dinner. They'd be like, no, we're all getting dinner together. So anyways, I didn't know that. So I'm at home alone. This motherfucker is out till 2, okay? He calls me drunk off his fucking ass. He cannot find his way. The Uber dropped him off at the apartment. He couldn't find his way from where the Uber dropped him off into the front door of our apartment. So he's calling me. He's like, and I'm like, hello? Okay. I go outside. I literally have him basically fireman carry. Just kidding. But like I'm like holding the little loops on his pants to help him like walk. Literally, he's that drunk. Like, he cannot walk by himself. And so I'm like, okay. So at this point, I feel so bad for him. I'm like, oh my God, he's so drunk. We like walk up the stairs. We're on the 3rd fucking floor. And he's like, oh no, I don't feel good. And so he starts like stripping his clothes because he's about to start throwing up, okay? So he starts stripping his clothes. What the fuck do? I start folding his clothes. I fold his pants. Pictures fall out of his pant pocket, okay? Because he did the photo booth, okay?
Where?
Oh shit! It was somewhere on West.
Speakeasy, Buford's,
something like that.
Not Speakeasy.
I still have the screenshots on my phone, but it was somewhere on West. And so I see the first picture. It's like him and his guy friends. I'm like, oh, that's cute. And then I go to the next picture. It's the girl he followed that morning at 8 o'clock and her girlfriends. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? So then I go from like, oh no, he's so sick. Let me fold his clothes. He's currently throwing up in the bathroom. I go into the bathroom and I'm livid. I see his phone sitting on the top of the toilet lid. And I grab his phone and I put it in front of his face to unlock his phone. And I sprint to the other side of the apartment, to the other bathroom that has a lock on the door.
Did he come after you?
He's like trying to chase after me, but he's so drunk. He's like, wait, and he's like running into things. And I just like shut the door. The thing is, we're going to get a little morbid here for a second. Like, yes, he's banging on the bathroom door. The amount of like banging and screaming and things that have happened like in that room of like me being like yelling for somebody to help me like previously, and no one has heard my cries. Like, I know no one can hear him banging on this bathroom door. So I'm just sitting there in the comfort of my locked bathroom scrolling through his fucking Instagram, and this bitch, she's like, hey, I just wanted to, it was so fun hanging out with you tonight. Like, I did not realize you were that fun. I just wanted to invite you. We're going to go paddleboarding tomorrow if you and Paige want to come. But, like, you don't have to invite her if you don't want. And I was like, so they're talking about me, okay? And she's inviting him out, and she's, like, acknowledging she had so much fun with him. I know you have a girlfriend, and come bring her if you want. Bring her basically if you have to. But, like, or you just come. And then I messaged her back and I was like, he's not coming. And then I waited till he fell asleep before I opened the door again.
That is so sad.
And then the next day, it's funny now, but the next day we had pre-planned for like our friends, and my friend's mom was in town, and for them to come to our pool because we had a
so
really
that didn't
cool
stress her
pool.
out so much.
Yeah, and so the next day I'm like, oh my gosh, like, how was last night? Like, because things seemed like stressful or whatever. She was like, what? And I was like, what? I'm like, I don't know. I thought you were going to say something because, like, I don't know what to say. And she was like, are you okay? Because where were you last night when we were all at dinner? And I was like, why the fuck would you? They're coming to our house the next day.
Why would you lie like that?
Why would you lie like that? Yeah, he said that you weren't feeling good and that you just like didn't want to come to dinner. And I was like, I said I was gonna text you guys to see if you wanted to go to dinner. They were like, we were at dinner. So, anyways, literally looking through people's phones, you can find all of the truth.
I'm like, that's like a mic drop. Like, how do you even like end on that?
I think that it's really telling that you had to wait for him to tire himself out to leave the room you were in. And then the next day you're like, wow, it seems like you were really stressed yesterday. How is it with your mom in town? Like that's a lot. Holy hell.
Oh my God. Well, we also have another story that relates to Your Poor Dad fan. Remember? If you guys are so early on, we had this Instagram account that said it was called Your Poor Dad fan.
And they're still our biggest fan.
And this person was like commenting on our videos, like episode 3. Like we probably had like 200 listeners back then. And they were messaging us and like writing comments that like it was very clear it was someone who knew us very, very well as like a family friend. And I knew immediately who it was. And so that's okay. So we're going to tell this story and I'm going to tell you like another story about this girl. Okay. So the way I found out it was validated that it was this family friend was that I went to their Instagram and I tried to log in, and then Instagram will send you a prompt.
The Your Poor Dad fan.
Yeah, Your Poor Dad fan's Instagram. And it said, do you want this code texted to your phone number? And it's like the first number, star.
The last four.
And
or your email.
Or your
first
email.
letter, star, last, like,
at
Yahoo.
At yahoo.com. So I was like, okay. And I looked at the person who I knew it was, Instagram, or her phone number and her email, and it was there. So then I was like, let me just go to their Instagram profile do that. Their personal Instagram. And I did the same thing. It was exactly the same. So then I started messaging this person. I was like, LOL, don't use your fucking personal phone and email as the same exact ones that you're using for your personal account if you don't want us to know. And so the funny thing about this person, and this will go back to looking at people's phones. So when I was separated from Mark, I was cleaning up our stuff. I was like separating our stuff. And then there was this book and I was like, wait, where did this book come from? And there was a period of time where I was in Texas, but Mark decided to like camp out at our house. So then I had to extend my trip in Texas until he left the house. So he was like planting stuff in the house because he was an addict and he was acting erratically. So I open this book. Immediately there's like a few hotel pieces of paper. And on those pieces of paper were girls I'm talking to. I wish I was kidding. It's like girls I'm talking to. There was like 3 different girls and there was pros and cons list. And the pros list was
girls I'm talking to.
I mean, literally like how big of a fucking loser do you have to be?
This was one of the most losery things he's ever done.
Oh my God. So loser. And it was like our family friend. And so I was like, are you fucking kidding me? These two. And it was like this person was so obsessed with finding out if me and Mark were divorced because I kind of just like stopped posting about Mark. And I really like needed time to like not tell a bunch of people. I wasn't like embarrassed or anything. I just like didn't want to like, I felt something that I like didn't want to tell her. Like she was giving me a vibe like I didn't want to tell her the truth. And so I just like kept avoiding her question, but she was obsessed with it. So knowing that she is obsessed with finding out if we are together or not, I'm like, I wonder.
Yeah, she would text you very often.
She would text our mom, what's going on? Mm-hmm. I'm worried about you. I'm going to call your mom, like saying the craziest stuff. So yeah, like fucking do it. My mom's not going to tell you either, bitch. Actually, mom would. She was kind of like.
And also let mom then.
Yeah,
like,
no,
you know,
so
it would be like this
yeah.
person can.
No, do it.
This person can eat my ass. Like,
yeah.
Call my fucking mom. I'm going to call your fucking mom.
I tell Mark, I'm like, hey, I found some stuff. Do you want to come get it? Like, I kind of don't want it in the living room. He's like, okay. And Mark, at this period of time was like easily manipulated because he was like down bad. So I was like, hey, come in here. And I was like, and then I forget how I did it, but I was like, let me see something on your phone real quick. And he handed it to me and I like ran to the bathroom and I started like taking pictures
like
of his.
The bathroom is the
You have to go. Yeah. Because you have to like have the lock.
Because there's always a lock on the bathroom.
And so I'm going through their texts and he and her are having this back and forth conversation like, oh, hey, you, it's been so long. And it's the way she's talking to him. It's not as if she's talking to somebody who is married. So like at this point, she like has put 2 and 2 together. Like she's not like, hey, you and Jade should come over for the Super Bowl. She's like, you should come over to the Super Bowl. It's been too long. We've always had such a good connection. This is our best family friend. I'm telling you, the person who hosted my engagement party, hosted my bridal shower, she is texting my ex trying to make plans with him. And luckily she's such a fucking flake that she kept ghosting him. But this dumbass kept trying to go after her.
Well, because she's hot.
Yeah. And then she has so she has the audacity. This has all happened in like 2019, 2020. And she has the audacity to send us a text, a mass group text to our fucking family, and said,
us 3 plus mom.
Plus our mom, and say, I don't know what I've ever done to you guys, but like I feel like we've drifted apart. I want you to get to know my child, blah, blah, blah. And I'm looking at this text like, are you fucking kidding me? And so mom immediately texts Paige on a separate group chat with just us, not her. And she's like, Paige, don't. Because she already knows.
Mom says, Paige, do not respond.
Yeah.
Because she knows I'm pissed.
Oh, I wanted to send screenshots of their texts and be like, this is why we don't talk to you. But the thing about her is like, I could never confront her because she's such a victim that if I did say something, she'd be like, oh, I didn't know. She would make up an excuse. And it's just like, you showed me
what
your
she
character.
would do. She would be like, wait, something's happening. I think I need to leave. I need to go to the hospital.
Yeah, because she's literally Munchausen's by proxy. But it was not worth having this confrontation with her because there's nothing she could say that like I wanted to hear. Like there's no justifying. There's nothing that like I wanted to yell at her. I just like iced her out. And then cut to 2022, she made a fucking fake profile of us or to troll us on our new podcast, like our little podcast. But
it's about farting and boys that don't like you, or what did she say?
She's
boys you can't keep.
Specifically to me, she said, Paige, I don't listen to your podcast about farting and boys you can't keep.
Yeah, so that was like the phone thing that I saw, which is like so crazy to see. Like I would never do that to a girl. Like, it's just so crazy.
I think the part that I wrestle with that whole situation is that I think that it was right to not engage. You don't need to confront her, all of that. And yet, every time we talk about her, I get so upset, and it only is affecting me. It's like drinking poison to kill your enemy, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't think I'm ever going to genuinely wish her well. You know,
well, why would we? I don't get why people want to wish people well. Like either I don't wish her anything. I wish her like a miserable existence.
Well, I can feel my heart rate getting up. Like I'm so affected by this person, and I think there is something to be said for moving past that.
No,
and I just can't see that happening.
I don't.
No, because the thing is, for me, like I feel like I'm in a place where it's like, okay, I have these feelings, but don't act on them unless they are presented to you. So when that text message was presented to us, like that was my time. Yeah. And because I didn't respond in that time with like, because at that point we had so much in our arsenal. Like it was like, we had like
screenshots
from you, from me, like from mom, like there's so many things from like different people, and like it just could have been like a brrrr.
Yeah.
And because like nothing was said, it's like it's not ever gonna be the time to
it's not the time
bring that back out.
Well, and that's the beauty of a podcast, because we can talk about it and no one who knows who the fuck we're talking about. And the funny thing about it though is because we did talk about this like when we found out about the Your Poor Dad fan. And she started like telling people like, oh, the Brandt sisters are talking shit about me. And I'm like, well, we never said your name or any like really big clues. So you just know because did it.
It's you.
It's you, literally. Like our number one fan. So I don't wish her well. I wish her literally the life that she has right now, which is sad.
I wish her help. Honestly, I truly do.
I love it. She's going to hear this. Hi. It's been so long.
Bye.
should we
Do a listener story.
do the listener stories?
Well, hold on to your butts because I'm about to tell you my worst dating story.
Okay.
Hi, Paige Bailey with an E. Just so you guys know, my name is Baily. You don't know that when you just hear it. You have to see it. Okay. Hi, Paige, Bailey, and Jade. I want to start off by saying I absolutely love your show. I was missing you girls so much, I found myself re-listening to old podcasts. I love listening to your crazy stories because I have endless crazy stories myself, and I thought I would share it with the sisters.
Okay.
A few years ago, I went on a date with this guy, and we hit it off pretty well on our first date, so I was excited to see him again. A few weeks went by, and we had not made any plans to see each other, but we texted throughout the weeks. His birthday was coming up, so I thought this would be my chance by taking him out for his birthday and finally seeing him again. The day of the date, I asked him if there was a specific restaurant he'd like to go to. He told me he didn't mind with my choosing the location, so I picked a local brewery by my house, and he'd have to make the drive since he was about 30 miles from me. We met at the brewery, and the wait time was about 2 hours, so I thought of the bright idea of taking him back to my car to take shots of tequila while we waited.
Oh, God.
I love that she just had car tequila on deck, though.
Yeah, like
I just keep it.
We don't endorse that.
It's safe to say I was pretty wasted by the time our table was ready. The date was going great until we got seated. I instantly noticed his demeanor change as soon as we sat down. At first, I thought it was because we took a few too many shots, so I brushed it off. I was staring at the food menu trying to decide if I was either going for the wings or the salad until he says, "Hey, so my girlfriend's here." I beg your finest pardon? I laughed thinking he was joking with me until I looked up at him and he had the most serious face. I said, "What? You have a girlfriend?" And he responded with, "Yeah, I'm sorry. She's just a few tables down. I don't think she saw us." And he was visibly getting angry. He then began to vent to me, telling me how she lied to him because she said she was going to be at a concert. I was still processing the fact that this man had a whole ass girlfriend until he says, "Please do me a favor. If she comes up to us, could you please pretend to be to be my cousin?" I could not believe that he had the audacity to ask me that. I was ready to get up out of there until I realized I was still buzzed from all the tequila shots we had taken, and there was no way I was going to be able to drive home like that, so I had no other choice but to say yes and to eat dinner to help sober me up. So she's going to pretend to be his cousin. That's wild. Once we got done with our food, he got a tap on his shoulder. "Hi, babe." I look up, and there she is, giving him a kiss hello as I'm chomping on my buffalo wings. He was like, "Hey, babe, funny to see you here. This is my cousin," as he pointed at me. My stomach fell to my ass. I was a non-confrontational person at the time, and so I avoided drama with the ranch. So with the ranch sauce on my chin, I said, "Hi, I'm Jess." I was mortified. She seemed like such a sweet girl. I couldn't believe she was dating this dirtbag. I also couldn't believe I went along with his stupid lie. Once dinner was over, I felt a lot better, so I got in my car and drove off. As soon as I got home, I blocked him and never heard from him again. This is one of many horrible dates I've had, so let me know if you'd like to hear another one.
Jess, we need you to tell us more horrible dates. If this is on par for your horrible dates, we need to hear all of them.
Here's what my guess with Jess in this story is this was probably like one of her first really bad dates. So she didn't understand how bad they could go. So she's like, oh, okay, I guess I'm your cousin now. Okay. And she awkwardly goes along with it. You better believe if this was Jess today, she'd be like, "No, I'm not your fucking cousin."
If she's listening to this podcast,
she would walk over to the table and be like, "Not only am I not his fucking cousin, but guess what? We're on a date together." Like, girlfriend, get out.
No, if you are a sister and you are listening to this podcast, there's no way now that you can't tell the girl. Like, imagine just being like, "Yeah, I'm his cousin."
I can totally like understand. We don't know how old these people are, but it's like
she seemed like it was
you're so young, and it's like this is like the first time you've been in. The thing about life, everybody, all of our young listeners, we have a lot of young listeners. You hear about life being like crazy and weird, and the thing is, it's true. It is just so true. Like,
hot take, life is crazy.
The amount of weird situations I've been put in, is just mind-boggling. But you better believe the first time you're in a weird fucking situation, you're like, well, this is the outlier. This can't be like normal. This can't be real. So like, sure, I'll go along with this weird ass fucking thing. And then you realize, oh, this is life. And you know what? I'm not going to go along with it because other people are fucking weird. It's not me, it's them.
Yeah.
And then you find your little feet to stand up and stand your ground. That is wild.
That is so crazy.
That's something that would happen to me.
No, I was just going to say.
So crazy that they were 30 miles away from where he lived.
Well, it depends on like where they're living. Because if you're in like Los
Georgetown.
Angeles, like if you're in LA, like you're 30 miles, it's like a smaller.
Well, it's like Austin to Round Rock or Georgetown, one of those. It's like, it really isn't. It sounds really far.
I think it's like if you're in DFW, like that's Dallas.
That's like Fort Worth.
Yeah.
So I guess if his girlfriend, if they're in Fort Worth and
Dallas,
she says she's going to or your girlfriend says she's going to a concert in Dallas, I'd be like, let's not go on a date in Dallas then, just to cover my bases.
Well,
truly.
It seems like the girlfriend lied too. I want to know, Jess, if you know where that girlfriend is now, can we get an update? Because there's no way they should be together.
They probably have 3 kids.
Jess, I also need all of your other dating stories.
I know, we really need Jess.
And I need to know where you're located.
I know. Please tell us like what that is kind of crazy, 30 miles, but
That's a lot of miles.
It's really
and
not.
I think I thought it was crazy that, remember that time we were at a bar and I was talking to that one guy and we were trying to meet up on West and it was just too much because there's so many bars and it was whatever. Then he walks in with another girl.
Oh my God.
And that already felt so serendipitous that I even walked into the bar. I was like, oh, that's the guy I was trying to meet up with. It worked out, except for Barry didn't because he was with someone else.
Bailey looked me dead in the eyes and she said, she like grabbed me by my arm and she looked me dead in the eyes. She said, do not go talk to him.
We're always
well, because
like,
Paige was like, I'm going to go say something. I was like, don't. That's embarrassing. We've been on 3 dates and we're going to a wedding next weekend. So I need you to not
That's so Paige for us to be like, don't say anything.
Also, that's the
I
thing.
obey.
You were saying this where like for me to have to like explain to Paige how serious I am, it makes me seem weird for having to be like, Paige, please stop. And she's like, why would it be weird? Why would I not go say something? And it's like, Paige, like having to like desperately explain to her.
That's so annoying.
A very normal thing.
No, but the thing is, he was such a fucking liar. The fact that he's like, oh, Bailey, I'm trying to meet up with you. Oh, no. I keep missing you.
I know,
and
but
then he comes in with another girl, and he tried to say that it was his.
No, he was out with his brother.
Oh, he was out with his brother.
But you're not my sister. But that was, I understood the situation. It's not like you had to explain it to me. I knew, this isn't a relationship. I'm probably not going to marry this guy.
Like, but to Bailey's point, it's like she had to like make it a bigger deal so you wouldn't do it, which makes her feel weird. She's like,
it makes me feel like a loser begging Paige, please don't go say something. I don't want you to do this right now.
Mm-hmm. I hear you. I just like also don't think that you should be disrespected like that in the bar we are already in.
I also know
we were already in our bar.
I know how to accept the respect that I need. I don't need disrespect me. I'll disrespect you. Like I don't need that.
Well, that's so healthy of you. And honestly, I was not really healthy. I'm probably better. I don't know, actually.
I really wish you would stop protecting your peace because we need more good stories. Can you go on more dates?
I have decided I am going to get back out there.
We really need you to go on more dates. And I need you to just like unlock a little bit of crazy Paige.
But the thing is, it's so much easier for me to unlock when it's like with you guys or like if it's with like you guys or like mom or something or dad, like when it's like our family. It's so much easier for me to like forget any therapy and just like just go straight instinct.
Yeah.
When it's myself, I'm so like therapy focused, but it's like that situation, I'm thinking about it again right now and I still feel my regret is not going up to that person, which I know is the whole point that like what we were not saying. But like
I'm glad you're there. I'm glad that thing still lives inside you.
I am too, honestly.
She's like
It's
a
entertaining.
monster. She's a monster that's just like.
It's like you open up your mouth and like another head climbs out.
Truly, and it's wild because it's like the disrespect.
No, the audacity.
I just cannot. You're out with your brother, fucking liar. You're out with another girl, and that's
No,
like
he was out with his brother and the other girl. It was all
Jade,
true.
The other girl.
The
had
only
her
lie was
legs-
that he wasn't trying to
she
meet up
had
with
her
me.
legs like
What if
like-
it's his cousin?
no like
They're
like
kissing cousins.
Yeah.
like they were like her butt,
No, they're second cousins.
Her butt was right on his butt, and her legs were like this, and they were like she was like holding him like that.
Oh my god.
They were on
I don't
a
know about
date.
you, but I'm not holding any of my cousins like that.
No, sure not.
Not anymore.
Okay, that's a great place to end on. If you guys would be so kind to share this episode with 3 sisters, we need more sisters. And please rate us 5 stars on Apple and Spotify, right?
Yep.
Send in your stories. If you're like a Jess, try to top Jess's stories, try to top Paige's stories.
It was amazing.
Or you don't even need to top it. We just want to hear your stories. We'd love talking to you. If you need advice, send it in to yourpoordad@gmail.com. I've started responding to people's emails because I'm like, thank you for writing in. Like,
that's good.
That's a really good story. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Your Poor Dad Pod. And that's it.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
Bye, guys.